This book was introduced to me by my Indian bank manager, Mr. S.K. Shivaraman, long back. From that day onwards, I get the habit of reading this book quite often. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Some of you might have heard about this author who lived during that period 1888 to 1955. He was an American writer and lecturer and a developer of courses in self-improvement, writer of many books on self-improvement. He was also a great speaker, like our Toastmasters. This book was published in 1936, and this book is still a topper in self-improvement books. Warren Buffett, the great investor in US, he took a diploma course in Dale Carnegie Institute on this course, How to Win Friends and Influence People. One of the core ideas in this book is that it is possible to change other people's behavior by changing one's behavior towards them. And that is why over 30 million copies of this book are sold, and this number is increasing day by day. And this was top seller list in New York Times for several years. Now enough about this author and the briefing about the book, and let us get into the content of this book in a condensed way in 10 minutes. There are so many editions of this book, and the contents are grouped in different ways in different editions. My edition is 2001 edition, and in this edition of this book, there are 4 chapters. First is fundamental techniques in handling people. Second, 6 ways to make people like you. Third, how to win people to your way of thinking. And final one, the 4th chapter, be a leader, how to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. You could see the order, the beautiful order of these chapters: handling people, to understand them, making people like you, and then winning people, and finally changing people. Perfect linear way to influence people, right? Mission accomplished. On top of all these chapters, in this introduction, he gives one page with 8 points. These are the 8 things that this book will help you to achieve. In our Toastmasters forum as well, we often talk about thinking in terms of the specified audience in front of you, right? Because we talk only for the audience, not for us, right? He uses the same technique in this book also by giving this introduction, making us to get attracted to read this book. What are those 8 benefits which we get by reading this book? Think new thoughts, make friends easily, win people to your way of thinking, increase your influence, keep your human contacts pleasant, become a better speaker, and arouse enthusiasm in your associates. Don't we aspire for each one of these points in our life? Not only in our personal life, but also in our professional life, to be a good manager. Is it not? These benefits bring immediate interest to read this book. He also makes a reference to this quote: the aim of education is not knowledge, but action. Truth, nothing but the truth. This is action-oriented. You cannot just read it and keep it aside. You will get the urge to implement all the suggestions to win friends and influence people. This book is full of examples and stories which would inspire you to take action. Exactly what we teach in our Toastmasters forum as well. Tell stories. Because stories bring life to our speech and make it more efficient and effective, inspiring the people to take action. Right? Now, only few points as mentioned by him in this book, as we have only few minutes time for this speech. Don't criticize. Nobody likes criticism, right? And gives honest appreciation. In our evaluation technique also, we are supposed to use the sandwich technique: commendation, recommendation, and then commendation, right? More appreciation. And then arouse an eager want. This is more important. If he does not like it, then what's the purpose? Become genuinely interested in other people, not falsely. Because people are intelligent enough to know this, right? Smile. Best way to make the first impression is smile. This will be definitely responded with smile, as you all have experienced it. Remember a person's name. This is very, very dear to him. If I address Raja Balaji as Balaji Raja, will you like it? No. Pay attention to person's name. Be a good listener. Conversation is not only traffic. Talk in terms of other person's interest. Here, if I talk about agricultural activity in my hometown, will you be interested? You come here to become communicator and leader, right? I have to talk in your interest. Make the other person feel important. Talk to the people about themselves. They will listen for hours together. They will not get bored. You don't notice it. Avoid arguments. Arguments is a very, very bad way in any conversation. Show respect. Everybody demands respect. Admit your own mistakes first. People like it. Right? Get more attracted to you. If you admit your own mistakes, he is also like me. He has also committed these mistakes. They get attracted to you. Begin in a friendly way. Very, very important. Get the other person say yes, yes. If he say yes, yes, he is getting closer to you. He will be, very soon he will accept your view. Let the other person do a lot of talking. This conversation should not be only traffic, as I already told. Let the other person feel that the idea is his. Let him take the credit. What's wrong? We want the result. That's it. See the other person's point of view. You welcome disagreement. There is a saying that when two persons always agree, one of them is not necessary. Right? Be sympathetic. Many persons call a doctor when all they want is just an audience. Just listen sympathetically. These are all the quotes given by this author in this book, which I am using. Appeal to nobler motives, no petty motives like you get money, you become famous, etc. With your action, you bring happiness to the life of the other people. Nobler motives. Take them to the greater heights. Dramatize your ideas. That's what we learn in our Toastmasters projects, like effective body language, using descriptive language, understanding vocal variety, etc. Throw down a challenge. People like challenges. Let the other person save his face. What matters is not what I think of him. What matters is what he thinks of me. This also a quote by him. Praise the slightest improvement. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. Ask questions, no orders. Don't say, do this. Instead, can you do this? There are so many examples and real life stories referenced in this book. She revised all these examples and stories in each edition and bring latest stories to emphasize the points. And these are all real life stories. As she quote the name of the person, name of the company, etc. This adds credibility to the content of this book. Please read this book with all the stories to validate my contention. Interestingly, Dale Carnegie and Ralph Smedley, they are all contemporaries. Ralph Smedley is 10 years elder than Dale Carnegie. They are all contemporaries. They might have exchanged ideas on becoming a better communicator, leader, and in establishing their own institutes like Toastmasters Organization and Dale Carnegie Institute. Who knows? Overall, I would say that if you want to influence people, be sympathetic, be empathetic. In addition to sympathetic, be empathetic and use your emotional intelligence. Step into the shoes of the other person. In our Toastmasters pathway, we have these projects, identifying your communication style, identifying your leadership style. This book will also really serve as a supplement to those projects. If you read this book along with those project details, it will definitely make you a better communicator and better leader, thereby winning friends and influence people. There are a lot of things for you in this book. Please read it.